Live. I swear to God, I'm going to get these right one day. This is this is the third time I've um, uh, gone live, and each and every time I've always made a mistake. Um, this time was I was talking for a good 15 minutes and forgot that my mic wasn't on. The saying of 2020 and now even into 2021, you're on mute. So that was great. When people were pinging me saying, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Excellent. So I thought I'd do this live today because um, it's a little bit different. This one, I wanted to talk about our book, Your CXC and We Know It. It's been really successful for us. First, let me say thank you to everyone that's bought it. It's really humbling, and the reviews as well has just been fantastic, both that have been written online and sent through messages to myself, Sharon, and John, and also verbally. Never in a million years did I think I was ever going to write a book or publish a book or even get a book to number one. It's just a phenomenal experience. But I wanted to do this live because we get asked quite a lot of questions, be that on LinkedIn or personally or through our networks, however that might be. We get asked loads of questions of why did you write the book? What was the point in the book? What did you learn when you wrote the book? All sorts of things. So I've picked 5 questions that I thought I'd walk through. And apologies if I look off camera. I've got 3 screens here, and on my second screen here is the questions. So I'll jump straight into the questions. As always with these lives, there is opportunities to you can comment, you can come into the chats. You can ask any questions that you want as we're doing it. It's completely up to you guys. But I'll jump straight in. So the first question is, why did you write a book? Oh, that's a great question. One of the things that we found when we were starting our business was that we had loads of stories. We love a storytell. Anybody that's ever been in a meeting with us knows that we love to tell a story, and we've got analogies for every sort of situation, because I think stories, analogies, however you want to describe it, can bring a subject to life. But it can also bring quite a complex, sometimes dry subject, technology. It can put visions in your mind where you sort of start to make sense for you, rather than it being just ones and zeros and or some data on a screen. But what we also found was during our journey in MKL, we found that when you come to designing technology, you can run away a million miles an hour designing the technology, but then when it comes to the customer, you can very easily go, oh, I forgot about the customer in this. So let me go back and then bring that customer along on this journey and try to slot them in some way when I'm 80% through my build process, which is never good. So we've all seen CX, or customer experience, really start to become a very serious, disciplined subject, and so it should be. And it's great to see big companies starting to put individuals in senior roles around CX. CX isn't just about having a customer services department. It's so much more than that. But Sharon can speak in a lot more detail than I can in that regard. And I won't be doing her a service if I even tried. But what I can talk about is the ins and outs and the intricacies of the book and why we did it. So we wrote the book to knit CX and technology together, because they are 2 very important disciplines to bring together. And CX is really key to ensuring that not only do we understand our customers, but we flex and we move and we adapt to the customer as well. But there has to be some push and pull. It can't just be customer says X and we go there's Y. There has to be some challenge in that. But also technology needs to be part of that equation as well. And I haven't seen anything where you very overtly try to knit the 2 subjects together. I mean, how many times have you been in meetings and someone's come in, an external organization, spoke eloquently about technology, and we always wonder, well, where is the customer in that? And it doesn't necessarily mean the external customer. I mean internal customers as well, especially those people that are doing change in their organization and bringing technology in. How do you do it in a way where, one, it doesn't scare everybody, but also you can bring them on that journey and implement your technology a lot quicker. But in classic MKL style, we didn't want to write just another management book, which would send you to sleep within 5 minutes. So for those that have seen the book and for those that haven't, I'm sure once you look at the index and the chapters, just how they're worded, will give you a good understanding of what this book is about. So the book is out there, the book is live. You can buy it on Amazon, and it is there to help. It is there to help, but also put a smile on your face as you're reading it. But there'll be loads of little nuggets and gems in there that you can take away. So it's not a comedy book. It's not a motivational book. It's not a teaching book. It's a little bit of the three, which was quite a hard balance to get. For example, for those that have bought it, I don't know if this camera can see, there is some binary here. And on that binary, if you put that into a binary converter, it will give you our motto in MKL. So a little bit of a tidbit there. So hopefully that answers the question on why do we write the book. Second question, how long did it take to write? Believe it or not, from start to finish to publishing, it took 12 weeks and a day. And it's that day that is really frustrating. The joy of writing was, I say the joy of writing. We were in and out of the joy of writing. Well, I say I was. Sharon was, fingers were on fire when she was writing it. It's just speed demon. And if it wasn't for her, it just wouldn't have happened. Because I can talk a good talk and I can wax lyrical, but Sharon is all about delivery and execution. So big round of applause to her for that. But at 12 weeks and a day, and the way that we disciplined ourselves was we had a shared OneNote file. We designed the chapters before we then thought, well, how are we going to then pad out those chapters? So we had our skeleton. And then we moved all the chapters around in terms of how we were going to do it. And then for an hour every night, 7 days a week, we said we will spend an hour writing. And that is not a long time. I mean, how many times have I spent an hour doing anything? I mean, I've been talking for 8 minutes already. So an hour to write something that you're passionate about and that you know a lot about. And that is also fun to write because, as I said, it's not, I don't want it to be seen as a very serious book. The messages in it are serious, but how it's delivered needs to be in the culture of how we are, which is very much a highly credible yet friendly, open and supportive environment. And that's hopefully what comes across in the book. So to spend an hour every night was not a big ask. So 12 weeks and a day. And I can't remember for the life of me why it was that day, but I think we worked out with the publishing window, and I didn't know anything about publishing. CX Rockstars, thank you for the help in terms of publishing the book. I didn't know anything about that, how it works on Amazon. So when we went through that process, we needed our hand very much held by James, and that was great. But that's where we sort of like lost a little bit of time, because when you're uploading things and you're changing the design, obviously we decided to use something quite intricate into the design of the book, because why wouldn't we use that and make it hard for ourselves? Obviously using very colourful designs on the back because we love gaming. But that all ate into the time a little bit. So 12 weeks and 1 day, which is a bloody 1 day, but what can you do? What's the hardest part about writing a book? I found the hardest part was the editing afterwards. So decided that you want to write a book, then you begin to write the book, spending that hour every night is great. It's fun. You're sitting there with your cup of tea, a dog at the side of you, or whatever, and it's just great. I didn't want to be that douchebag sitting in a Starbucks going, "Look at me riding my Burke. Can anybody notice that I'm actually riding a Burke? No, come over and chat to me, and let's talk about my Burke. What? My Burke? Did I say Burke? I have no idea why I said book like that 3 or 4 times, but spending time and doing that was great. That was pleasurable. But at the end, when you then start to go and you do the editing side of it, of going, if someone doesn't understand us and they've never met us and they're reading that call, will they get that? Is that appropriate language? We're very colourful in how we express ourselves. Again, it's very helpful having Sharon there to rein us in. You can probably start to see here that Sharon is very much a rose in between 2 thorns when we talk about myself and John. So it was good to have Sharon there. Not from a fun police point of view. And Sharon, if you're watching, I'm not saying you're the fun police. I'm just saying that it was very helpful to refine the book so that we could get it published and we wouldn't be sued, more importantly. So the hardest bit was the editing. Once the editing was done and the uploading, it was just a breeze from then. It was really easy. What's your favorite chapter? Ooh, I think there's 2 for me. So the first would be on page 57, which is called Tin Pot. So Tin Pot's really important for me. I don't know if you can see, I have a tin pot there behind me. So when we first set the company up, as you always get when you want to do something that's a little bit out there, you're breaking the mold of what people are used to. You want to do something a little bit different. You're going to have people, unfortunately, say you can't do it. Except you've heard all these stories before, but I'll never forget being called a tin pot organization when we first started, and then some of the successes that we've had as a result of that. You might have seen on some of our other broadcasts where we've pitched to Lloyd's, one of the biggest banks in the world. We became innovation partners of Waits. We've won some mega contracts from a traditional engineering point of view, very much not a tin pot. But I kept that chapter in there because I thought it was important to stay grounded. And that's why it's behind me here. Because every now and again, it's good just to turn around when we have these big moments. Although on the other side, when you're soul searching, because it is tough to look and think how far you've come. So Tin Pot is definitely one of them. I said there was 2. Yeah, the second one on page 127 is van therapy. We do loads of miles in this company, thousands of miles a year. What I found is, Jordan Peterson said that you outsource your sanity to other people, which I think why lockdown was so hard is if you're on your own, you've got no one to bounce your sanity off. So you don't know if you're going a bit peculiar because it just seems normal. That was just John walking in and slamming the door. If you heard that. But the van therapy thing was really good. And because you get to bounce loads of ideas off each other, that's where we came up with the digital FM idea, which was around, first it started with EMS systems. So if you're going to do traditional electrical engineering, can we offer something a little bit different to make us a little bit more stand out from the crowd? So we started to do that with energy management systems, and then it's massively evolved into a full suite of IoT solutions as well. So Tin Pot and van therapy were the favorites. And then the last one was, where can I buy the book? It's on Amazon. So if you just type in your CXE and we know it, it'll come up there. There's always sort of different promotions on. You can buy it on Kindle. I think if you've got Kindle Unlimited, it's free, I believe. So yeah, go check it out. And if you have already bought it, then I really appreciate it. And thank you for all your support. So that was just a quick one for Friday, and have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you.